Tonight on CTV News, the trial begins for the man accused of killing an RCMP officer in Coquitlam 2 years ago. New details on the drug raid that led to the deadly shooting. Also tonight.
There has to be and will be some scrutiny coming from us in 2026 that, on behalf of the taxpayer.
With the City of Vancouver slashing its budget, why is the Vancouver Police Department asking for more money?
And the best part? It will be completely free and accessible for all.
A BC First is coming to the North Shore. A look at plans for an open water swimming facility in North Vancouver.
This is CTV News with Kevin Chirac.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Mi Jung is off tonight. The first-degree murder trial for a man accused of killing an RCMP officer in Coquitlam got underway in New Westminster Supreme Court today. For the first time, we are hearing details of the drug raid that erupted in gunfire. CTV's Ben Milger was in court and has the details.
As a group of RCMP officers that gathered outside a Coquitlam condo 2 years ago, they considered the threat level to be medium and had no indication anyone inside had any firearms. Moments later, an exchange of gunfire left Constable Rick O'Brien dead and another RCMP officer and the suspect injured. Arriving in court for the first day of his first-degree murder trial, defendant Nicholas Bellemare showed no visible signs of injury from the gunshot wound to his forearm. He sat in the prisoner's dock wearing a dark suit and a white button-up shirt with no tie. Friends, family, and colleagues of Constable O'Brien were also in court. Some wore buttons showing the fallen officer's face, and others had blue ribbons on their lapels. On the morning of September 22, 2003, Constable O'Brien and colleagues from the Ridge Meadows Detachment were executing drug warrants at 3 different locations. O'Brien was the lead officer responsible for making entry into the Coquitlam condo with a battering ram. According to the Crown, after breaching the door, he was shot almost immediately with a prohibited AR-15 style rifle. The Crown says the trial hinges on 3 key questions. Did Bellemare know O'Brien was an RCMP officer? Did Bellemare intend to kill O'Brien? And was Bellemare acting in self-defense? The trial is scheduled to last several weeks. Ben Milger, CTV News, New Westminster.
As the City of Vancouver takes several belt-tightening measures under direction of the Mayor and Council, Vancouver Police are looking for more money to finish the year and even more for next year. CTV's Penny Daflos has a first look at the requests.
The Vancouver Police Board held a special meeting and live-streamed what a board member predicted
there's going to be pushback.
Would be highly controversial funding requests.
The optics are like, oh, the police get everything they want. So just wanting to get ahead of that.
The Vancouver Police Department is asking for the board's approval for a 4.9% increase to next year's operating budget, totaling a whopping $497 million. Bureaucrats claim that's what's needed to retain current service levels, including a new collective agreement with the union, implementing body-worn cameras, and the increased levy charged by Ecom 911 for their dispatching services.
There has to be and will be some scrutiny coming from us in 2026 that, on behalf of the taxpayer.
The cost to police the FIFA World Cup next summer and respond to extended liquor service hours are also included. But that's not all. The VPD is also asking the board to approve $13 million in capital expenses for maintenance and renovations of VPD buildings, IT systems, and replacing vehicles. And it doesn't end there. Vancouver Police went over budget this year and are asking council for another $17 million to avoid finishing 2025 in the red. That includes $5 million for the task force barrage crackdown in the downtown east side and the ongoing investigation into the Lapu-Lapu tragedy. This all comes at a time the mayor is aiming to freeze property taxes.
Zero means zero.
With staff directed to find $120 million in savings for next year.
And so the Vancouver Police Department is trying to be the exception to cost cutting. They go to council asking for help with this year's shortfall on Wednesday and present their preliminary 2026 budget next week with fireworks already anticipated. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
It's an industry that employs tens of thousands of people in this province, and it needs help. The struggling softwood lumber sector is being hammered by U.S. fees and tariffs, and today politicians from Ottawa and BC came together to help prop up the embattled industry. And as CTV's Rob Buffum reports, BC will no longer be running anti-tariff ads.
Industry intact.
Following a meeting with high-profile federal ministers dubbed a Softwood Summit, Premier Eby says he finally feels heard by Ottawa.
As of today, I feel much more confident. The federal government understands the severity of the crisis facing the sector.
The feds have agreed to set up a task force with BC, pledging more support for the forestry industry, cratering under the strain of duties and tariffs from the U.S., potentially totaling 55%.
Hour is grave. The moment is serious for us to continue to work together.
Ontario had run these TV ads critical of U.S. President Trump's tariffs. Trump reacted swiftly last week, slapping an additional 10% on all Canadian goods. BC had planned to release its own digital ads on softwood lumber this month. Today, Eby said he's holding off.
I knew that it was a source of anxiety for many people, including potentially the federal government.
The Premier acknowledging frustrations that BC's critical export had not received the same attention as Ontario industries, but relief that it was now seemingly getting its due.
When you look across the country, it's larger than the automotive sector. It's larger than aluminum and steel combined. It has an impact right across the country.
With tens of thousands of jobs in jeopardy, the industry itself says it's heartened by the summit.
We hang on to little hopes here and there, and the fact that the Maine Minister for U.S. Trade was here in British Columbia reassuring us, I think that's hopeful.
Meanwhile, the opposition BC Conservatives placed the bulk of the blame for the sector's struggles on the NDP government, calling the Trump tariffs merely the straw that broke the camel's back.
The bureaucracy, the delay, not being able to access our fiber, all of this is making it uneconomical to operate in British Columbia.
The feds say $700 million in loans previously pledged by Prime Minister Carney will start flowing now, and more support, as of yet unspecified, will be coming in weeks.
And Rob joins us now from Victoria. And Rob, what did the Premier say about any potential softwood lumber ads in the future?
Well, Kevin, he did not rule out that would happen. The point he was making is that there would be a collaborative operation with the federal government and the province. So for the time being, there won't be those ads expected this month. However, he didn't rule out there might be some kind of joint project with Ottawa and BC down the road. Kevin.
Rob, thank you. The Premier was also asked whether homeowners in Richmond impacted by a landmark court ruling should have to continue to pay property taxes while the case is being appealed and their ownership is in question. The Cowichan Tribe's decision granted Aboriginal title over 750 acres of land along the south arm of the Fraser River. The band has repeatedly insisted it doesn't want to overturn private property titles, but residents are concerned about their ability to obtain mortgages and even resell their properties, raising questions about what they're actually worth.
I understand why people are anxious. I would be anxious. But I want to reassure people we are going to court. We're bringing forward any information that we have. Currently, to date, we don't have information that banks are reluctant to loan in relation to these properties. It would be helpful for us if that is in fact the case to be able to get that information from homeowners. People still own their properties. You still are able to sell your properties.
A long legal battle is expected, with the Attorney General anticipating the case could end up at the Supreme Court of Canada. A Facebook Marketplace sale gone wrong has sparked an investigation by Surrey Police. They're asking for help identifying this man who is accused of selling someone a cell phone that did not match the packaging it came in and was different from the phone the person agreed to purchase. Police are reminding people to never provide payment to an online seller before checking the authenticity of goods. 4 people are in police custody after illegally crossing the U.S.-Canada border on foot in Abbotsford. The Canada Border Services Agency says 3 of them were caught running from border officers on October 8th. A 4th person, the group's driver, was also arrested. All 4 were turned over to the CBSA as the investigation continues. As daylight hours shorten and wet weather returns, police and ICBC are reminding drivers and pedestrians to be extra cautious on the roads. The annual push comes as visibility drops and crashes involving pedestrians typically rise at this time of year. CTV's Regan Hasegawa reports.
The clocks have officially rolled back, and across Metro Vancouver, darker commutes and rainy conditions are making it harder for drivers to see people crossing the street, and most pedestrian crashes happening at intersections or busy transit hubs.
This is the darkest, wettest times of the year, and most of the crashes involving pedestrians occur between October and January.
ICBC says distracted driving and failing to yield are key factors in pedestrian crashes. It adds that speed limits are set for ideal conditions, so when it's dark or raining, drivers should slow down and scan intersections carefully. Pedestrians are also encouraged to make eye contact with drivers and wear reflectors to be seen. ICBC is hounding out thousands of these reflective zipper poles at its service centers and community policing hubs for a limited time to increase pedestrian visibility. Sleep experts say even minor changes to our internal clocks can affect alertness on the road. The time shift can temporarily throw off the body's biological rhythm, making some drivers less focused in the days that follow.
You could argue and say that if you're not used to driving at a certain time, and then you have your clock going forward or going backwards, that can do it as well. In addition, perhaps driving home from work as well, you might be a little bit less alert.
BC passed legislation to make daylight savings time permanent years ago, but that won't go forward until neighboring U.S. states do the same so our province can stay in sync. Regan Hasegawa, CTV News, Vancouver.
BC's toxic drug crisis claimed 158 lives in September, according to the BC Coroner's Service. The death toll is the lowest for the month of September since 2020, but it still means an average of 5.3 people died daily. And it appears more people aged 18 and younger are dying from toxic drugs. So far this year, 20 youth deaths have been reported compared to the 17 reported by the September of 2024. Vancouver has had the most toxic drug deaths this year in BC with 314. Police in New Westminster are appealing for witnesses after a man was beaten by a group of 5 people last week. It happened around 9 p.m. last Thursday near the River Market. Police say the man was trying to help someone being assaulted when the group, 3 men and 2 women, turned on him. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Vancouver's Chinatown is losing its only post office. The outlet is set to close in just days, and as CTV's Dimitra Maragos reports, advocates say the closure only further isolates the community.
On November 12th, this Canada Post on Main and Hastings,
where am I going to collect my mail in the future,
is set to close.
That doesn't make any sense.
Ellen Campbell, a downtown Eastside resident, says this is just another blow to the community.
It's another turn against the low-income people, because we depend on the post office.
In a statement, Canada Post says it came to a mutual agreement with the business owner to close this location.
The Chinatown Post Office is an essential public service that the community depends on.
Melody Ma from Save Chinatown YVR spearheaded this petition to stop the closure because she says to this community, it's more than just a post office.
We need to tell Canada Post and all relevant authorities that they need to find a solution to keep the Chinatown Post Office open, whether through a public management model or an alternative franchise.
Packages and mail are set to be rerouted to other locations, including the London Drugs on Abbott. Ma says simply, this won't work.
We have a lot of Chinese seniors in this neighborhood with mobility challenges where walking across the street is already a massive challenge for them, let alone going to a post office that is over half a kilometer away.
But Canada Post is dealing with an ongoing labor dispute and significant financial losses. The Crown Corporation has accumulated $5 billion in losses since 2018 and required $1 billion in support from the government.
This means making a series of changes to stabilize the financial situation in Canada Post.
The federal government says it's Canada Post's job to serve all communities. But MP Jenny Kwan says with the second post office closing in her riding, it doesn't feel that way.
What this tells me is that they're actually working towards
gutting out postal offices in neighborhoods.
Ma says with this proposed closure, she hopes her community isn't seen as just a figure to the Crown Corporation.
Chinatown and the downtown east side isn't just a number on a spreadsheet. Physical access to a physical post office is essential to this community. We need a post office to remain open here.
Demetra Marigo, CTV News, Vancouver.
Sheltered seawater swimming on the North Shore, the new floating structure that's bound to make waves on the Lonsdale waterfront. That's just ahead tonight. But first, look at the Burrard Inlet. It is dry, it is dark, it looks pretty brisk outside.
Yeah.
A nice night for a swim in the ocean, maybe, perhaps.
I don't think so. If you like a really cold plunge,
A little
definitely.
chilly.
Yeah. Yes, it was a pretty nice day today to kick off the first Monday of November. Let's take a look at temperatures across the Lower Mainland right now. We're seeing 9 degrees at the Harbour, 8 degrees in Burnaby, as well as in North Vancouver. You're looking at cooler temperatures in the Valley, 8 degrees in Abbotsford, 6 in Abbotsford, 8 in Chilliwack. So as we head through the overnight, we will see a few clouds, and talk about chilly, dropping down to 3 degrees. Into tomorrow, we'll start off with sunny skies. A few clouds roll in the afternoon, a high of 12. Get outside and enjoy it.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next trip by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
So yes, enjoy the beautiful day because rain returns on Wednesday. I've got those details coming up.
Soak in the sun while you can. And thanks so much. We'll see you in a bit. Burrard Inlet is a busy waterway for industry, seaplanes, and the sea bus, and it'll soon be home to BC's first open seawater swimming facility. CTV's Shannon Patterson now on what it will look like and why the city of North Vancouver is confident it will be both safe and popular with swimmers.
This old dock on Burrard Inlet at North Vancouver's Waterfront Park is about to be transformed.
I am thrilled to announce the creation of the Harbour Deck, the first open seawater swimming facility in our city and in BC's history.
The Harbour Deck's 7,000 square meter protected swimming area will include a shallow pool, 50-meter swim lanes, and a diving platform, along with a seating area, outdoor showers, and changing stalls.
And the best part? It will be completely free and accessible for all.
It's a joint project between the City of North Vancouver and a charity called Swim Drink Fish, which did 2 years of water testing here and found the inlet safe for swimming.
This is a new era. People are rediscovering their rivers, lakes, and harbors.
The Weston family donated $16 million toward the construction of the Harbour Deck, and the city kicked in $5 million.
The operating costs are estimated at approximately $500,000 a year. And currently, we envision it being lifeguarded during the peak seasons of May to September.
It's a dream come true for open water swimmers. Who aren't bothered by the frigid temperatures in Burrard Inlet.
How was it? It was great. It felt chilly but refreshing, and I feel energized.
So, how cold is it? In the summertime, this shallow part of Burrard Inlet is between 15 and 20 degrees Celsius. But in the winter, it drops as low as 5 to 8 degrees. To people who would say, this is just too cold, what would be your response?
I completely understand. The first time I did a cold plunge, I was only in there for about 10 seconds because it was way too cold. Completely understand, but it gets more bearable each time that you go, and I gotta say it gets a little addictive because it feels so good.
Construction will begin next year, and the Harbour Deck is scheduled to open in 2027.
I will be there on opening day, and I will definitely be going in.
I can't wait to be here. I think it's amazing that it's right here, so close. There's so many people on the North Shore, and it's going to be an awesome place to celebrate and hang out with family and friends.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, North Vancouver.
Parents in New Westminster are sounding the alarm as a pilot program for school buses is set to end in June. The program began last year, and parents say losing it would make their kids' journey to school long and potentially unsafe. CTV's Yasmin Gandam has more.
Since January of last year, parents felt at ease sending their kids to school.
They can get up in the morning, have their breakfast, walk to the school bus, and know the bus is going to be there.
That's because families in this Queensborough neighborhood depend on the bus program that takes their kids to and from New Westminster Secondary School. But that all could change come next year unless the district gets more funding from the ministry to continue it.
Now they're late for school. Now their anxiety is up. now they're freaking out. And that is not right for a student going to high school to be worried about how they're going to get to school.
At this point, we don't have an assurance of what will happen after that, so we're really looking to the province to fulfill the commitment to extend that service.
The school district says Queensborough is the only neighborhood with the bus program because of how far it is from the high school. She adds many students rely on the bus to get to school.
There's about 200 students who use this school bus service every day, and it's a huge help to them and to their families.
Now parents at this school have started a petition to urge the province to take action.
A lot of parents are just concerned about how they're going to juggle getting their kids to school and then getting their kids safely home, and also making sure their kids are, their emotional mental health is not affected.
The Education Ministry tells CTV News it is working to find a permanent solution to keep the program going, but parents say they are left in the dark.
People have reached out to the provincial government to find out what's going on. All we get is silence.
In October of 2024, just before the last provincial election, the BC NDP promised the program would be permanent and free. Now parents are concerned that might not be fulfilled. Yasmin Gandham, CTV News, New Westminster.
Still ahead, a beach cleanup on Vancouver Island unlike anything you've ever seen. Plus,
I'm frustrated and desperately seeking answers.
Her daughter was murdered 17 years ago in Saanich. The killer was never caught. A mother's plea for answers and justice. When CTV News continues, stay with us. Some sad news for the southern resident killer whale population. The Center for Whale Research says a newborn calf is now believed to be dead. The organization spotted J-pod off the coast of North Pender Island in late October. After following the pod for some time, the team noticed that one of the newborn calves was nowhere to be seen. They add that mortality rates for young calves, especially those born to first-time mothers, are incredibly high in the southern resident population. Massive tires that washed up along a Campbell River beach are finally gone after residents and local businesses teamed up to help haul them away. The tires washed ashore near a beachfront home a couple of weeks ago. They quickly became an environmental concern as the tires are filled with styrofoam. That can break down and harm marine life. The tires are believed to have come from an industrial dock along the coast. And while the cleanup was successful today, one local group is concerned this will become a common occurrence and more will need to be done.
It's going to hit our beaches. It just will happen. So maybe a bit more of an organized response would be good.
A local tug company strapped a cable around the tires and pulled them back into the ocean where they will eventually make their way to a landfill. There is a new ripple in a very old homicide case on Vancouver Island. Lindsay Buziak's mother has taken to social media with an emotional plea for evidence in her daughter's 2008 stabbing death. CTV's Anna McMillan reports.
Nearly 18 years after Lindsay Buziak's death, many might consider the killing a case gone cold. Today, Saanich police say it's still active, though Buziak's mother worries it's not.
I'm frustrated and desperately seeking answers.
Buziak was a realtor and was stabbed to death in 2008 while showing a home. No charges have ever been laid, and her mother says she recently received an update from the Saanich Police Department.
The detectives assigned to the investigation were being transferred to other departments. It was a decision based on resources.
SPD says in prolonged investigations, it's standard practice for investigators to be reassigned periodically. The department says its commitment to seeking justice for Lindsay remains steadfast.
Investigators are reviewing and retesting evidence.
In 2021, the department announced it was getting help from the FBI and was hoping advancements in DNA analysis could create new leads.
You reach a point where there's nothing left. There's no one left to talk to. There's nothing left to test forensically. And it's a frustrating, horrible position for homicide investigators and for the family of this young woman.
That former homicide detective says cold cases are never closed, but they can be parked.
One of the benefits of putting out this information today is it may trigger somebody to come forward.
That's exactly what Buziak's mother is hoping for.
Police have told me that there are people who could provide the evidence necessary to convict those responsible, but they are afraid or reluctant to become involved. I'm directing my plea at you.
Saanich Police is also asking people to come forward and says its investigators follow up on all credible tips. Anna McMillan, CTV News.
After a heartbreaking loss on Saturday, what does the future look like for the Toronto Blue Jays? Coming up, a full report on why next year's squad could look considerably different. Plus, the Vancouver Whitecaps and BC Lions are both moving on after thrilling playoff victories over the weekend. Stay with us. It was great weather for a parade in Los Angeles, and that's exactly what the Dodgers did today, along with thousands of fans after the team beat the Blue Jays in Game 7 to take their second straight World Series title. Meanwhile, in Toronto, Blue Jay fans are still mourning the heartbreaking end of the season, but the team is now setting its sights on the future. Several notable players are set to hit free agency, meaning next year's squad could look considerably different. CTV's Sean Leathong reports.
Early November outside the Rogers Centre, there are signs that through some tears, this city isn't ready to let go of the 2025 Blue Jays. Despite the loss, inside the Jays shop, World Series merchandise is selling at a rapid pace, supporting a team that went all the way just short one run.
I guess it's part of a grieving process a little bit, and but you know, I just felt like I need to kind of be here.
Just to be able to have like an item or an article to be able to celebrate that, I think was really important for us and my family as well.
Super proud of the team, and yeah, just wanted to get some stuff to toast the occasion.
Will Tolbert is even buying a jersey hoping for next year.
I'm thinking about maybe getting Ernie Clement.
In the moments after their Game 7 loss, Clement described the heartbreak and what this city loves about this team.
I've been crying for like probably an hour, so I thought I was done with the tears, but I just love these guys so much. It was so much fun coming to work every day and, you know, battling with these guys, and we have so much to be proud of.
While Clement will be back next year, the team could look very different. There are 6 free agents, with the most prominent being Bo Bichette.
I said I want to be here from the beginning.
But the man who hit a 3-run home run in Game 7 will command a lot on the open market that could be more than the Blue Jays are willing to pay. There are also pitchers Chris Bassett and Max Scherzer, whose contracts are up.
It's been my favorite group I ever played with. Couldn't say enough good things about everyone.
The heart that this team had, the way we cared for each other, this is gut-wrenching.
Both have expressed interest in returning, but GM Ross Atkins will have some decisions to make, like with starter Shane Bieber, who can opt out of his final year of his contract and hit the open market.
Major League Baseball's free agency doesn't start until Thursday, and there's still no word on an end-of-season news conference from Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins. So at least in theory, this team the city loves so much will stay together for a few days. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
The Jays may have lost the World Series, but one of their fans ended up winning the biggest 50-50 jackpot in baseball history. A man named Eric from Oshawa took home the grand prize of $25,010,057. The Jays Care Foundation announced the winner this morning. The rest of the funds will support baseball programs for children in First Nations communities, as well as those with physical and cognitive disabilities. While the World Series defeat made for a sour Saturday for some, sports fans in BC still had a lot to celebrate, with 2 teams kicking their way into the next round of the playoffs. CTV's Brianne Foley has that story.
With no time left on the clock, in true CFL style, the BC Lions punched their ticket to the Western Conference Final.
That's the CFL. That's what you love about this game. That's what you love about playoff football in those moments. It's pretty special to do it in front of our home crowd.
They've now won 7 straight games, though the road to the Grey Cup must first go through a loud and windy Saskatchewan on Saturday.
You prepare for the cold, but then you've got to prepare for the cold and the crowd. So I think the biggest thing they need to do right now is focus on communication, because when you've seen the Lions go into those cold weather environments for Western Finals, it's been the communication and the environment that's affected them more than the actual weather has.
When you win consecutive games, you know, there's a belief in you that you're able to take the field and make the plays when plays are needed.
Confidence in tow, the Lions weren't the only ones solidifying a continued playoff run.
I think the players kept their composure. We had a talk about how to approach it, and I think we did well. It looked solid what we did.
Winning all 3 playoff matches against Dallas FC, the Caps will now host Los Angeles FC in the Western Conference semifinal at BC Place, November 22nd.
We'll mostly focus on ourselves and take a deep breath and be sure that we're ready in 3 weeks.
But even before they take to the turf, Vancouver Rise will host the Ottawa Rapid in the first ever Northern Super League playoffs on Tuesday.
Of course, a big goal of ours and getting to the final, but also just getting that extra bonus of playing one more game at Swangard is really great for us.
With excitement palpable in BC.
And enjoy having the opportunity to play games that really matter.
Brian Foley, CTV News, Vancouver.
Coming up, Anne joins us for a look at your forecast and difference-making dolls.
I did 225 myself, and it's been a joy to do them for the kids.
How Canadian seniors are helping lift the spirits of children in disaster zones, one doll at a time. Stay with us. Have a news tip, video, or photos of breaking news from your screen to ours. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Email us at vantips@ctv.ca or text 10400. Tiny dolls are making a big difference thanks to knitters at an Ontario retirement home. They made hundreds of Izzy dolls that will soon be sent out to children in war zones.
I did 225 myself, and it's been a joy to do them for the kids. We had a knitting club on Tuesday, and we all got together and we all knit.
Residents at Kemptville Retirement Living presented the Canada Aviation and Space Museum with 883 Izzy dolls today. The dolls are a symbol of friendship and peace and are named after Master Corporal Mark Isfeld, who was killed by a landmine while on tour in Croatia 30 years ago. Before his death, his mom made dolls he distributed to children wherever he went. Now his legacy lives on.
It's amazing. In one swoop, they've given us more dolls than we raised all of last year. It's something to do together. A lot of these ladies would knit in their room before, and now they come and they gather in the main lounge and they knit together.
The museum will send the dolls to an organization that uses them to pack medical kits and then distribute the dolls to children in disaster zones.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that so cute?
Yeah.
That's great to see.
Good for them.
So how's it looking, Anne?
Well, right now, pretty nice. We are seeing partly cloudy skies out there. More sunshine on the way tomorrow. Today, we saw a high of 11.1, which was above the seasonal average. Overnight lows were warm as well last night at 5.4. In the first 2 days of November, we've seen 12.9 millimeters of rain. The monthly average at 171.2 millimeters of rain. So we are seeing a break in between systems right now. The next strong one is offshore, and that will bring in some wet weather as we head into Tuesday night. So here's a look at our storm tracker right now. Partly cloudy skies for the south coast, and then it's not until tomorrow night, overnight, that we will see the next wave of wet weather move its way in. Heavy at times, continuing through Thursday, and it doesn't really dry up until a Friday afternoon after some spotty showers in the morning hours. So make sure you have your umbrellas handy. Lots of sunshine pretty much across the whole province, all thanks to a ridge of high pressure tomorrow. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen, but you will see some showers for Masset. You'll see cloudy skies with a few scattered showers, and the only one around the province seeing some showers tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies for Port Hardy tomorrow with a high of 11 degrees. You'll see 9s for Campbell River and Comox under mostly sunny conditions. Same story for the South Island from Tofino right down to Victoria. Temperatures between 10 and 12 degrees. Sunny skies for the Sunshine Coast with a high of 9. A touch warmer up the Sea to Sky Highway, 12 for Squamish. Cooler in Whistler at 6 degrees. And for us across the lower mainland, a sunny start with a few clouds through the afternoon. 11 degrees across the lower mainland. Enjoy it. Rain returns on Wednesday, continues right through until Friday morning before it dries up. Saturday, it will be dry to kick off the weekend with some sunny breaks in there. And then we'll see a rain return Sunday afternoon, continuing into Monday. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So yeah, enjoy the sunshine rain tomorrow, and make sure you have your umbrellas handy. Well, you should anyways. It is November.
Yeah, a little bit of sun. That's not too bad. Typical November weather, right? Yeah, and thank you. Still ahead, why London Drugs is closing one of its Vancouver locations after 40 years in business. And
I'm upset. I'm angry. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
You've likely seen them on social media, ads that seem too good to be true. Coming up, the cautionary tale for online shoppers. Stay with us. Taking a look at today's markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 71 cents to the American dollar. Oil was up 7 cents, closing the day at $61.05 U.S. a barrel. Gold gained $17.50 on the day. The TSX finished the day slightly higher, up 14 points. The Dow Jones was lower at close, losing 226 points. The days are numbered for a 40-year-old London drugstore in East Vancouver. The chain's president confirmed to CTV News today that the location at Kingsway near Joyce will be closing this winter. He says the decision was based on a number of challenges, including building maintenance and historic theft in the area. The store first opened in 1985 and is one of 36 London Drugs locations in the Lower Mainland. The doors will officially close on February 2nd. If you've ever scrolled social media and spotted a deal that seems too good to be true, you're not alone. Some flashy ads may be legitimate, but others are cheap knockoffs that don't arrive as advertised, and some products don't show up at all. CTV's Pat Foran explains what to watch out for when making an online purchase.
I'm upset. I'm angry. I don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Jackie Belfour of Niagara Falls was on Facebook when an ad popped up for a clothing store that claimed it was going out of business.
I found a 3-piece outfit and a pair of shoes that I liked.
She paid $135, but when the merchandise arrived, Belfour says it was cheaply made, and the shoes she thought were leather were plastic.
These are a $65 pair of shoes that are absolute plastic junk.
The website appeared to be based in Canada, but she was told she would have to return the items to China at a cost of almost $100, and there was no guarantee she would get a refund.
I felt ripped off. I felt that everything about this website had been misleading and really fraudulent.
It's Facebook certified advertisement. Don't believe it. It's still a big scam.
Jinri Fu of Aurora needed a taillight for his truck. He found a company on Facebook and sent them $250. Then he was told he would have to pay more for insurance, and the part never showed up.
I feel like not comfortable because I trust the Facebook.
They're getting very hard to distinguish between what's real and what's fake.
Social media expert Janita Panu says while consumers may believe ads have been vetted by the platforms they appear on, she says that's not the case.
Scammers are building these Facebook pages, running ads for a short period of time, and then they would collect payments and maybe never deliver on the product.
To avoid ad scams, confirm you're on a legitimate website, use caution buying through social media shops, contact the company in advance of the purchase, and be suspicious of massive discounts and deals that seem too good to be true. If a price is so low that it doesn't make sense, chances are it's a fake ad. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, our team here at CTV News Vancouver brought home some hardware over the weekend from the Radio, Television and Digital News Association Awards in Toronto.
The damage left behind is widespread. We have team coverage from the island to Metro Vancouver, where massive trees were no match for the fierce winds. Cyclone that blasted the west.
CTV News Vancouver at 6 took home the award for Best Local Newscast in a Large Market. The RTDNA singled out our coverage of last November's bomb cyclone, which wreaked havoc up and down the coast. And our very own Sinjin Alexander received the award for Best Video Journalism. He was recognized for a story on one of Vancouver's most poorly maintained roads. Still to come tonight, a Vancouver baker is crowned winner of Is It Cake Halloween Edition, plus painting smiles. Adam meets a woman who's found a creative way to turn her worries about the world upside down. Coming up on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Right now, here's a preview of Your Morning Vancouver.
Tuesday is budget day. How is the Carney government planning to develop Canada's economy? On Your Morning Vancouver, we'll have a preview of what to expect from Ottawa when the budget comes down during this pivotal time for our country. And we've turned our clocks back, but are we still feeling the effects? How the fall time change is impacting our sleep. We'll see you in the morning.
A little more baseball news tonight. 2 former Blue Jays have been added to the ballot for possible induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame next year. Carlos Delgado played the first 12 seasons of his career with Toronto. The slugger hit .280 with 473 homers and more than 1,500 RBIs during 17 seasons in the big leagues. Jeff Kent has also been added to the Hall of Fame ballot. The infielder suited up for Toronto in 1992 before being traded later that season. Former Toronto pitcher Roger Clemens and current bench coach Don Mattingly will get another chance to be elected to the Hall of Fame next month after failing to receive enough votes in previous years. A family in Australia has made an incredible discovery, pulling a glass bottle holding a 109-year-old letter on a beach.
We feel proud that the bottle picked us. Yeah, and we'll keep on cleaning our beaches until the day we die.
The bottle held letters from 2 Australian First World War soldiers dated August 15th, 1916. One is from Private Malcolm Alexander Neville, who was killed in action in France. The other from William Kirk Harley, who returned home after the war. They were able to track down family members of both men and send them those letters.
That is absolutely amazing.
That is incredible. I could see a movie being written about that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That is very cool. You're going to like this. Have you seen this show? Is it Cake?
I have.
You've heard of it,
I love cake.
Well, a Vancouver woman opted for the trick option this Halloween, winning Netflix's Is It Cake Halloween, taking home a sweet $51,000. Andrea Ortiz Fuentes says she was stunned when Netflix originally reached out to her to be on the show, but was excited to take on the competition. She made realistic version of gummy bears and spooky Grim Reapers and couldn't believe it when they announced her as the winner.
In the moment, I was like, this is unreal. Like, what are the chances of me, a Chilean girl that moved to Vancouver to, like, you know, try out and see what's up there for her, to, like, win this?
Yeah, good for her. She says she hopes for her winning this competition inspires others to always strive for more and dream big.
Amazing. Hope you got to eat it.
I always get fooled on that show.
Yes,
I never know it's cake. Finally, Adam meets a professional painter who set out to spread joy by asking strangers what makes them smile and then bringing their answers to life on tonight's Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Beverly Jean Hancock was feeling overwhelmed about the general state of the world.
I think that I was shocked and depressed.
When she made a specific realization.
That there was days where I hardly smiled, I hardly laughed.
So, Beverly Jean decided to do something about it.
I thought about what made me smile, and I started smiling more.
Which made her wonder what made other people smile. So, the professional painter began handing out cards to strangers, inviting them to send her joyful pictures to inspire her next art exhibit.
And I was quite surprised at how eager people were to tell me what made them smile.
And Beverly Jean painted more than 50 of them, which included the ultra-specific doing goat yoga, savoring that first lick of ice cream, and learning to juggle while riding a unicycle and playing the harmonica at the same time.
When I looked at the photos, I would just light up.
Most of the pictures Beverly Jean was sent were more universal, showing smiling with friends, dancing with partners, or just walking hand in hand.
Small sentiments of love and affection and joy.
Well, a bubble machine's been set up outside the Gage Gallery to inspire smiles before people even enter her exhibit. Beverly Jean is committed to keep cultivating joy, even after the last bubble pops.
I believe that we can connect deeply in a place of joy.
So, instead of spending too much time small-talking about what's going wrong with the world, she now asks others what's going right in their lives.
Like, when's the last time your grandchild said something funny?
Beverly Jean also tries to learn and share at least one joke a day.
So what did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
What?
It's your fault we're in this jam.
Beverly Jean has also learned that whether it's watching the way a bird walks or appreciating how a musician multitasks, that even when the rain is falling down, if you start looking up, you will always find something to make you smile. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
I love that.
I am totally stealing that strawberry joke.
That's a total dad joke. You should do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Another thing that makes people smile, rainbows. Look at this beautiful one above Waterhole Lake in Ontario. Thanks, Ron, for sending this one in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca. Viewers from across the country.
Beautiful shot indeed. And thank you so much. And that is it for us. I am back later tonight. We will see you later. Have a great rest of your night.